Hello, this is day 11 of our daily reading plan going through the life and writings of the Apostle Paul. Today we continue looking into the first letter from Paul to the church in Corinth. And he continues to go through a list of questions that the Corinthian church had asked of him. And we don't know if they wrote them down and sent them to him, or if they were just passed through an emissary, but he's responding to some issues that have come up in the church. In chapter 3, he's responding to the idea where some people are more important than others. Some Christian workers are more important than other Christian workers. He says, no, the foundation is Christ. We all build on Christ. I may do one thing, somebody else does something else, but we're all working together on the same team. Christian workers are on the same team because there's one building based on Christ. In chapter 4, he deals with the idea that Christians might be suffering mocking and ridicule from the world because we tend to look at things differently, and we need to look at things differently. The things that are value to us are considered foolish to the world. But that's because they don't understand the wisdom that comes from God. And so that's where we go for true wisdom, and that's where we have to ultimately seek value for everything in life, is God. So the most important thing in life is to be faithful to God, not trying to please everybody else around us. In chapter 5, this issue comes to a knotted point when it deals with sexual immorality in the church. The request of the world is that we soften our stance on many of these issues, immorality. But as a church, we cannot soften our position. Our position has been designed by God, has been determined by God. Right and wrong is determined by God, and it is up to us just to remain faithful and carry out the commands and the program and the attitudes that belong to God. Now, we can love people, but sometimes we have to cut them off and not let them destroy our fellowship, and as they would seek to do, and they would do in this case, this sexual immorality case in chapter 5 was quite hideous. But then the ones that we face now are just as severe, and the pressure to conform is just as severe. So, as he would tell us in Romans, don't be conformed to the world. Be transformed by the renewing of your mind. Be blessed now as we study God's Word together.